Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Camera.
This is Swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Just an ordinary, hungry, screaming Ghanaian who wants to realize his crazy. I'm just an ordinary, hungry, screaming Ghanaian.
Well, another leader that, of course, would definitely be remembered forever in Ghana's history. Well, very debatable again that there are people who might take different sides to the leadership of the late President Jerry John Rawlings. And for those who grew in his era, depending on the time and the time and the moments you grew in the era, some might say that he was a good leader. Others might say he was a bad leader. Others might say that he did things that weren't right. Others will say it was good for the moment, but very debatable, but also a figurehead that we will never forget on a day like this in Ghana's history. But before we even talk more about President Jerry John Rawlings, there was a question that we put to the House. And if you just tuned in, it's 33 minutes past 8 here on Culture Daily. And we are raising a conversation on job employment and the fact that, we say they are white collar jobs, and then they are, I don't know what other color. What would that be? Blue collar jobs, right? And which one we should look at growing, considering Ghana being a very a nation driven by a lot of labor. Where we are not like the Indians that might be digitally inclined or the Chinese that might be infrastructure inclined, where we are behind the PCs and stuff like that. We have a lot of labor. We have a lot of people who can work, go on the ground. So like things like farming, construction and stuff like that. If we look at this, is entrepreneurship a conversation that we need to look at and expand, or allow people to like we're discussing, finish school and consider looking for white-collar jobs and office jobs and suit and tie jobs?
No.
Oh.
No.
Hey,
boo.
Hey, I think
let's hear from Lenny since she hasn't said anything, because when you start, I'm sure I'll have to kill your mic.
I think
no, she hasn't spoken.
I think that
no,
for
okay, I'm marking today now.
entrepreneurship, they don't even have to finish school, right?
Talk
and
sense.
White collar jobs should not just be what the focus is. I also like that in recent times a lot more people
Science
are
students.
getting into entrepreneurship. The science students are selling food. That's a running joke.
For them, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not a joke. I won't take it lightly. I'm sure last
No, I mean, people say
they laughed at us, so I want to laugh at them back.
Laugh at them back.
Science student, then
But that's for you.
or on Jollof for Instagram.
I get that.
Home economics don't know Australia,
PTTY pains.
It's really
Yes.
beautiful to see that, also now with the rise of social media, it's giving a lot of people ideas to get into different businesses, creative entrepreneurs, there's food, there's fashion, there are also people who are health entrepreneurs. Like the list runs long and deep, right? So it's just really nice to see. So I think that also a lot of people start these businesses and keep them as small businesses. So maybe there should be some level of support as well, right? Again, this goes back to what Kojo Trip was saying about unemployment, which has moved some people, because not everyone that is sitting waiting for jobs to fall in their laps, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some people have taken the initiative to start their own businesses. So I think that it's very laudable.
So the entrepreneurship has become the resolution to their unemployment problem. So they're creating their own jobs. Yeah. And some of these people even end up employing other people. And so I think it's something that's very laudable.
It's not locked up by the white collar jobs anymore.
Yes, anymore. Now it's even becoming more lucrative if you're an entrepreneur. But also there's the
to an extent
facade Yes, there's a facade that is easy.
It's not.
So does our education system prepare us to become entrepreneurs, considering this that we are hearing? I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
The system itself, no, but the community.
Circumstance, not community.
The community.
Circumstance.
No, I'm talking about people who will randomly start a business because they've noticed in school that people need this or people like this. Because I did that several times in school. Like I love savories. Is it savories they call it? Yes. Spring rolls, the small chops, spring rolls and those things. I liked it. Finger foods. And so I'd always have some in my fridge. And I realized people liked it in my hostel. So I just bought more and I sold it. And I got money. You get what I'm trying to say? This is not out of I lacked something. I just saw like an opportunity and I took it. So in a space like that, it allows you, the community allows you to, create something out of what they like. There's also circumstance. I'm not totally ruling it out. It depends on where you're standing, really. Again, it's very important where you're standing, what's going on there, and what you can do for yourself. And so I feel like that's even helped more with help reduce the unemployment rates by whatever percentage that it might have reduced, because people have gone ahead to create their own jobs. So yeah.
Alex, you sided with
Adam. Decided to just
sided with.
Just decided to just
jump
me and then just.
I'll be a minute.
Because we were both speaking and he was chipping, and I thought he was the same points that he wanted to make, because it was the same thing. I mean, you understand.
I would like to speak first on exploration, as in like, do we explore? I don't think. I mean, maybe today. I can't say a lot of people are, but some people are exploring what their options are, exploring different avenues, and stuff like that. But I think that, taking it back to Kwame Nkrumah, his plan was to industrialize Ghana, right? And then there were factories, were making shoes, were producing sugar and all of that. But all those factories, all those things have been shut down. I think that technical know-how was going to provide people with jobs, with stuff to do when they... But so when we moved from industrialization to what we have now, where everybody are told to go to school, study hard, get good grades, and then once you pass out, you're going to get a job. It has like kind of dulled our minds to exploring what the other options are. A lot of people are, hey, I just want to go to school, be a straight A student, get all the great grades, and then just like, hopefully when I'm done with university, I'm going to get a job. And because of that, there are several people who are still home today after school, like after completing university. Some of us are fortunate enough to have certain talents or skills that we're able to tap into and then hone, utilize while we were still looking for jobs or looking for avenues, because as it stands in Ghana, like Issy said, a lot of people think entrepreneurship is the way to go. Yes, it is the way to go, but it's not as easy or as people make it out to. People make it out to seem, because trust me, you get into entrepreneurship and then you see the real, the real world, like the way things are. You get it. So I think that there's still more opportunity for us to explore. And then some of these things, like I was saying, the Uber, the driving and all those things, that certain people, I definitely do not look down on roles like that, because all of them contribute to us having a working society, a fully functional society.
You are now talking.
No, I never said that it was not a job. I never said it. I never said that. You get it. It contributes to us having.
Don't fall for that.
Yeah, it contributes to us having.
The guy quotes his words.
We know you. Let's go.
He said
contributes.
Graduates now start driving Ubers.
Yeah,
that is what he said.
Due to
yes, that's what he said.
Debbie, please, I want to turn off Jay's mic. where it contributes to us having a fully functional society. So everybody is important, right? Everybody's role.
Why didn't you say such when you're making that point?
Jay.
No, I'm asking you a question. Why
because
didn't you say
you were not even allowing him to finish.
That's not it. He said something. He was talking. And we're all quiet, and he passed a comment, and I attacked that comment. And
I didn't. He didn't allow me to finish.
He has refreshed the comments now.
I have not refreshed it.
And then
I still stand on what I said. That people are completing school and then going
and driving
Ubers, selling
and
cocoa.
What is wrong with that?
I didn't say there's anything wrong with that.
It's not their choice.
That's what I'm saying. There's limited opportunity. So once I come come out and I don't have the opportunity and my certificate is useless, then I'll just go into selling cocoa or doing something else.
Yes, but
it doesn't mean to say that's not a job. Did you go to school to do cocoa for 4 years?
Do you know there's informal education in school? Do you know?
I know.
Do you know why the teachers would tell you that if you are late, I'll sack you from the class, or if you are late, I'll lash you, or those things?
Jay, for that
those other sides teach you punctuality. Yes, you're not given a certificate on it, but it's very applicable when you are done.
Exactly,
because Lenny, this gentleman, the two of them are always late.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
They didn't learn that.
That's not true. Please, I would like someone to bring the logbook, please.
Have you seen what their school has done to them?
That's not true.
That's why this is the problem. This is what education does. It teaches you both. Jay. However, you may graduate on the certificate of what you were taught by your teacher on the board.
Jay, do you know how many people graduate university every year?
Plenty.
So are you saying that everyone? So if all the graduates are driving Ubers, who is going to do other jobs?
But the Uber was just, and sorry, I'm using Uber, but let's just say that
ride-hailing services.
Yeah, ride-hailing.
Hey.
I didn't.
Yes, it's fine, but I think that there are so many other jobs aside from the ride-hailing service.
I just use that as an example.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify that this is just an example.
Yeah.
However, it is a job.
I didn't say this.
It brings to us a question, a very, very heavy question on. We hear in certain countries that there's work, but people in the country don't want to do such jobs. You understand? So I beg to ask again, for us graduates, for us who had a chance of going to school and acquiring certificates at various levels, are we only geared towards a certain kind of job? Or when they say job opportunity, it also covers maybe there's a road construction going on and they need workers, because that's how governments count job opportunities. They don't only count it by the fact that there's availability in certain banks or certain oil and gas industry. Yes, so they consider all those things. They started constructing roads, and there was job opportunity in there. They mark all those as jobs. So the question is that are the kind of jobs that are being created, are those the kind of jobs that graduates wish they were or desired to be a part of?
I want to ask a counter question.
Yeah. Yes.
The jobs that are being created, right? Do they match the quality,
the
qualifications that we have here? That's also another question, because if the government or like the bodies that are creating jobs for people, and then there's we're looking at the people that we have in the country, and we know that the people that are here have expertise in road construction, but the jobs that are being created are in fashion or in anything else, then we've not actually done. It's not something we need. You've created something for someone else to come and take over, and that's for the foreigners to come in and make money. So,
well, okay. Let's hear from Sue before, because we have 2 minutes on this subject before we move on to the next.
If we hear that Nigeria has decided to invest heavily in space exploration, you see the reaction.
As in like space understand. For the people in the country,
like NASA.
Why are you laughing, guys?
That NASA, Nigeria.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand.
So let me say it again. Yeah. If Nigeria, who is struggling with NEPA to put the lights on,
but they have already started investing in space.
No.
As in space for the people, because them chow for the country, or
let me make the point.
I want
let the food cook. Like I put the rice on fire. Is it jollof? Is it?
No, you asked the question. They reacted. I didn't understand.
So I'm breaking it down again for you.
Yes.
Nigeria, who is struggling with keeping the lights on, could not possibly invest in going to space to do anything meaningful.
Why?
Because they can attempt it. Listen. Let me land my point.
You finish your point.
Let me land my point. This is off your point that China has gone severely into industrialization, manufacturing, production. Germany used to have that title, right? Where anything built in Germany lasts forever.
Yeah, German machine.
This, that. Knowledge of self is the beginning of wisdom.
Yeah.
Ghana, who are we? What are we naturally blessed with as a physical space? The people within that space, what are we blessed with that complements and will actualize that physical space we find ourselves? agriculture, right? Ghana has the potential to feed so many other countries, including itself, and make revenue and thrive. But the ignorance of who we are, where we are, and what our best resources are is what is killing us. Entrepreneurship is not a job. Entrepreneurship is a skill set which you apply to a business idea to add value to a product or service or services, right?
To create a job.
Exactly. To create a system that then creates jobs. AC buying, and this is not a job by AC. AC buying spring rolls and making it available to her dorm people, blah blah. It's not entrepreneurship. There was no value addition. Okay, there was no change in the product. It was trade. There's also nothing wrong with that. A lot of the people on Instagram, listen, a lot of the people on Instagram are digital traders. Baby. At the end of fire, with your picture at their tour. They are selling you convenience. You understand? If value is being added to the thing or the thing's form is being changed, then you can go on about entrepreneurship. We have been selling this dream of everybody's an entrepreneur in Ghana to the point that people are not finding out the million other ways that we can make money in this country and ignite the country and each other.
Cyril, I have to enter you small. I'm sorry.
Hey.
I am sorry.
At least take the Vaseline.
Entrepreneurship is the ability. This is in defense for you. It's the ability
for you
and readiness to develop, organize, and run a business enterprise along with any of its uncertainties in order to make a profit.
Yes.
Did you make a profit?
Oh, yeah.
Did you develop, organize, and run a business?
Yeah.
Your business model was to purchase and resell.
Yes, which is trade.
Did you face uncertainty sometimes?
Yeah.
AC is an entrepreneur.
No, listen. I get you are trying to make it.
I have to do this.
No. Listen, the same internet you went on. If you did entrepreneurship versus trade, my point to be clearer. She has the entrepreneurship spirit or heart, right? But that particular example she gave was more of trade. That's all I said.
No, but I mean, I don't want us to base on this, but
on your spring rolls, did you add any value to the spring rolls?
Not the spring rolls itself, but how I presented it. Because
that's why I gave the example that if you are.
Let me enter a season for you on your behalf. Meaning of trade, the action of buying and selling goods and services. So she was trading, but she's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I said.
So she was trading.
You said trading and not entrepreneurship.
No, I said what AC said as entrepreneurship. The example she gave. I went straight to your spring rolls. That's why I said spring rolls.
He said AC is not an entrepreneur.
That's what he said.
I used the spring rolls example. That in that example of her buying spring rolls for her hostel people was not entrepreneurship. It was trade. That's what I said.
But he literally just.
Yeah, I did. Okay. But we'll say that the debate for later on. We'll say the debate.
Yeah. What did I do?
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this guy.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up on your point.
Let's wrap it up on your point. You guys are spring rolls.
There are a few moments in Ghana's history that we want to just play back. But Cyril, just wrap up your point.
So all I'm saying is that before, and this is advice to everybody, before you jump onto the opening an Instagram page and selling pants, listen, there's
this sounds so personal.
Yeah. No, I actually want to sell pants.
He sells pants. He's talking about himself.
Sometimes I say these things, you think I'm jabbing somebody. I'm talking to Cyril. You understand me?
Give me an instrument of your piece.
Before you follow Cyril and sell pants on IG, think about where you find yourself. The opportunities in Ghana, politicians say it, and because we quote unquote hate politicians, we think they are just giving us some spiel. Opportunities are abundant in this country. They are not pleasant. They are not well branded. They are not trendy.
Yeah.
They might not be easily accessible.
Yeah.
But if you want something to do in this country, that will translate to money. There's 65 billion zillion things to do. And if you look in the agricultural sector alone, which is 1/4 of our GDP, since there's enough for everybody in this country to do. If all the unemployed people, right, didn't want the trendiest, coolest jobs and were willing to go and do the jobs they do in Telford, in Ghana, right, our agricultural sector will move out.
Like I wanted to sell.
I'm jabbing Cyril because I live in Telford and I walk 2 hours to go and check ketchup at the factory. I wouldn't do that in Ghana because I go Lagos, I'll be cool.
Yeah.
When I'm in Lagos, I drive a car.
True. I wanted to sell charcoal at some point.
Wrap it up, and we have to wrap.
So the psyche of it is one of our biggest problems. Yes, government know they make the place magic. Yes, things hard for pay your rent, blah blah blah. But we where we they look for the money too, no. The mind we they take look for the money, no. We they look inside for the shiny thing. But the charcoal need pressure to become diamond.
Thank you.
Are you pressure?
This is the first thing he said this year.
And for me, Cyril, the only reason I didn't get into the charcoal trading is that they said is usually like tribe related, right? If you don't know anybody. Exactly, so it's difficult. That's why I didn't do it. I would have,
which is part of the mindset.
Yeah, I
would
because
the Chinese use bamboo for anything. It's not tribe anything.
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate. Even shea butter, you need like they have like families that do it. So you need people there.
Use the right words. Cartels.
Yeah, they're cartels.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, it's 51 past 8 here on Culture Daily. If you just tuned in, you've
on
been
our 68th birthday.
Yes, on our 68th birthday, as celebrating Ghana's independence. However, we'll be wrapping up the show this morning with a few moments in Ghana's history and moments that defined the reason why we are here today. We can just start off with moments when Kwame Nkrumah was in exile. Clips that are circulating on socials as well, or very available to you. But today we chose to play them to you.
Fellow freedom fighters, comrades and friends, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to Accra and to this conference of African freedom fighters and supporters of the growing movement for Africa's liberation and unity. It is good for our cause to have a periodic meeting of this kind to examine our position in the great struggle to rid Africa completely and forever of imperialism and its handmaidens, colonialism and neo-colonialism. Africa is rich and not poor. Fellow countrymen of Ghana, once again, I speak to you from the voice of the African Revolution, Radio Guinea, Conakry. It is not insignificant that the voice of the African Revolution should be the medium through which I speak to you. The instigated rebellion by certain army and police officers in Ghana was directed not only against Ghana, but also against the African Revolution and the unity and independence of our continent. They hoped, through such irresponsible actions, to strangle Ghana and The government is a military government which will rule with advice from certain eminent civilians in the country. I would like to emphasize immediately that this coup was not initiated by the armed forces merely to satisfy our selfish ends. As I said in my earlier broadcasts, the takeover was occasioned principally by the hypocrisy of the Busia regime, coupled with the inefficient management by that regime of our economy. The malpractices which existed before the 1966 coup are still with us, and there was no prospect of seeing an end of them. Matters got steadily worse, especially in the economic field, and it became obvious that the Busia government had no clue as to how to arrest the position. Yes. In simple terms, we are almost like a nation at war without an external enemy. The National Redemption Council has therefore decided to place the economy of Ghana on a war footing We are soldiers. We know one way of dealing with crisis situations, and that is action. I want to ensure the nation that we shall spare no effort, and no sacrifice will be too great for us in this gigantic task of winning a great...
Well, various moments in Ghana's history. You watched the moments, and Kwame Nkrumah was also given a speech when he came back from exile. In that speech, you should find that audio or that video online. It's quite sad when he said, hey, and I'm saying that if we were able to do all this to Kwame Nkrumah, then no one is spared in this game. in this game, unless we didn't live in the era to really understand some of the things that were going on. Hence, the reason why people wanted change. But for us who didn't live in it, it is hard to understand, and comprehend how a man that we saw take us from point something to almost a point that we had never experienced under a black man's leadership. And then we fought for him to be taken off. From the stories I heard,
it's because the powers that be had the right stories to deceive the people into. And it's not like today where we have like social media and the internet is everywhere.
Do you think we are being deceived now? They are doing things to engineer things.
There's a lot of things going on, but you'd have to. We're in a period where you have to sift through information and also keep your eyes peeled in order to know what is actually going on. Other than that, it's just everything else is just deceit. It's just like whatever we see on the surface is not what it actually is at the also beneath it.
Also, very unique to Ghana is our tribally entrenched politics, and whoever ultimately had control of the new independent Ghana as a ruling government would have ascended to power as the ruling tribe. As we have seen tribalism play its strong position in our politics. So it was not that they did not believe in Nkrumah's vision or did not want the best for Ghana. It was fear of what an Nzima man and other tribesmen being in power for God knows how long would have meant for certain other tribes
who felt like they were superior.
At the time. So there's a very strong tribal undercurrent to the story of Ghana till today, which nobody wants to talk about because
even in recent times,
still there.
Even to today.
Well, anyway, I think it's been a great conversation this morning that we've had. The rest of the day is ours. It's ours for us to ponder and think through and look back at where we started and where we are now. We may have not achieved the major things that we expect, but personally, I think that we've done well as a nation. There are many shortfalls, but those shortfalls are as a result of the people who fill up this country, and those people are called Ghanaians. And they're not Nigerians, they're not Togolese, they're not Egyptians, they're not Americans, they are Ghanaians. So if we want Ghana to work, then we as Ghanaians have to start thinking of how to make it work. On that note, from Nane Silfa, aka Nana Hima, Ahonfa II. Yes, Queen Mother of
Spring Rose.
It's Spring Rose.
Wow, not taking a jab.
Yes. How can I address Kojo? In your lovely fugu, or is it?
Do you know why I wore this today? Because Kwame Nkrumah, on the day he delivered a speech at the Polo Grounds, he was in a Batakari.
Yes, very symbolic.
I am.
So
when I was short,
there's a difference.
I am an Nkrumahist at heart.
There's a difference.
There's no difference.
The level of knowledge.
I cannot presume to say that the level of knowledge I have acquired is up to that.
I didn't finish.
It's up to that of Kwame.
But I wasn't going to say that.
But I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Safe journey.
But it's fine. It's fine. And Adam as well. Thank you very much. Today at the end of the show, you spoke some
1 megabyte.
Yes, and I really appreciate
Only
that.
at the end.
At the tail end of the show.
I'll bundle it for you.
Nothing.
1 megabyte bundle.
Yes. For me as well, this morning, as I am richly clad in my kente, it's a representation of Kwame Nkrumah. I bring leadership.
Is it made in China?
I can kill your mic. I can kill your mic and talking sense. But anyway, that's on the side. Thank you very much, viewers, for joining us this morning on the show. We're truly grateful.
The muscles are coming.
Yes. Yeah.
John.
Land of freedom, toils of the brave, and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave, which have brought results. Everybody toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Ghana, we now have freedom. Ghana, land of freedom. Everybody toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results. Gold Coast will thank Nananom and elders, late Gisli Hayford, Mensan Saba, Pa Grant, Sagin Agete, and all who fought for freedom. Everybody! Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results.
Culture Daily was brought to you by Telecel.